Between John Butler calling plays in that final preseason game, as well as not having a definitive middle linebacker, an opposite corner to Trey White, a lot of question marks heading into this Jets game. Are the Buffalo Bills using this as a competitive advantage? I'm here to decipher it all with Bills Mafia, but welcome to my channel, Bills News Consolidated. We have to discuss it. John Butler of the Buffalo Bills sitting there coaching up this defense on that final preseason game. Now, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane did speak on this, and they said it's kind of just like preventative. If, God forbid, anything ever happens to Sean McDermott, or if he can't call the defensive plays for that game, we have some insurance there with John Butler, who proved himself that he could definitely call the plays during that preseason game. And I don't know about you, I think he did a very good job. I don't think he made any real noticeable mistakes. It wasn't like I could even tell Sean McDermott wasn't calling the plays, you know? It wasn't like things were off. So I'm really, really liking that. And now hearing Chris Brown on One Bills Live talk about Terrell Bernard still having a possibility of starting at middle linebacker week 1 against the New York Jets Monday night on 9/11. What a big night this is going to be. The first night with Aaron Rodgers as a New York Jet. I think this is going to be so hyped up. It's not like a Super Bowl type of event, but I think it's going to be a playoff-like atmosphere week 1 at the beginning of the season. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the Bills should maybe consider some of these rookies that we have on our team. I know Sean McDermott, he doesn't like feeding them necessarily right under the bright lights, you know? And I really believe the Buffalo Bills might consider even benching O'Cyrus Torrence instead of Ryan Bates, or maybe just having Ryan Bates start the first series to let kind of the game get settled in, to let the crowd noise wind down a little bit. Even Dalton Kincaid, rookie Dalton Kincaid, you know, how much are we going to utilize Dalton Kincaid week 1 as a rookie? You know, I think maybe we have him go out there, do a couple of run blocks, some running plays, get them accustomed to the game. You know, I think it's about getting them used to the game, having them just trying to get into the NFL experience, right? And I'm really thinking Aaron Rodgers going against the Buffalo Bills week 1 is probably the best opportunity to play the New York Jets in 2023. It's the best time to play the New York Jets in 2023. But going into this, you know, I think Sean McDermott did clarify that he is going to be calling plays, but it still is kind of a question mark. Sean McDermott on his interview said, we'll see, you know, and someone asked him, can you confirm you're calling the defensive plays week 1 against the Jets? And he said, we'll see. But I think it's kind of common sense. Like Sean McDermott took this role over. He's been working in that all offseason, all preseason, other than this final game. So I think it was definitely just insurance. But if something happens during the season, if things aren't right at other aspects of our team, if Sean McDermott's eyes of attention need to be somewhere else, maybe John Butler takes over the defensive play calling for the Buffalo Bills. And, you know, knowing that other teams have never faced John Butler, he's never called plays in the NFL. I guess apparently he was defensive coordinator in college, so he has some of that experience, which is good for the Bills. And then we bring in another guy, Kirksey, linebacker, Christian Kirksey, coming to the Buffalo Bills, having a relationship with Jordan Poyer. I guess Rachel Bush, Jordan Poyer's wife, said the night she met Poyer, Kirksey was there. They were all together. So they go way back, as well as Micah Hyde having a close, tight-knit relationship with Kirksey. And Micah Hyde's interview, he said, I'm going to get the best out of him. I'm gonna be focused on him. I'm going to be pushing him while he's here. You know, the past few seasons haven't gone right for him, but now he's here with us. So Micah Hyde is like all attention on Kirksey because of the relationship that they have. I absolutely love that Brandon Beane brings in a guy that we cherish in the relationship department, right? And one thing with Boogie Basham, too, I want to say is this Von Miller Pass Rush Summit, when he invited all these defensive ends, I'm sure Boogie Basham was invited, but from the videos that I saw, it was AJ Epinesa and Greg Rousseau. Boogie Basham was actually a no-show. So we're talking about relationships and those types of things. You know, Von Miller being a Buffalo Bill, Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, wanting to learn from a Hall of Famer, one of the best ever, do it. And Boogie Basham, pretty sure, was not there. So you got to keep that all in mind. So we definitely cherish relationships here with the Buffalo Bills. even Alec Anderson working on the practice squad in 2022 this whole offseason and actually makes the 53-man roster. I mean, that's absolutely huge with Aaron Cromer listening to a coach, dedicating himself, working hard, grinding, and getting on this team. And I think that's huge. And Kirksey's going to have to definitely do that. He's on the practice squad right now. So it's likely the Bills are going to start the season with Terrell Dotson. But Chris Brown, like I said, One Bills Live, said Terrell Bernard is not out of this thing. But the fact of the matter is we have an open competition at middle linebacker, meaning the Jets really don't know who to prepare at middle linebacker. The Bills could come out with Bernard. We could come out with Dotson. I mean, who knows? Who really knows what happens here? And then eventually later in the season, maybe Kirksey makes an appearance. You know, it could be based on matchups. It could be based on the team that we're playing, who's better in run support, who's better matching up against their tight end or slot wide receivers and stuff. And then on the opposite corner, a Trey White, I mean, we got to keep this in mind. Christian Benford, first-round pick, looks like he's on the bottom of the totem pole right now. Or Kaiir Elam, right? Kaiir Elam on the bottom of the totem pole. Christian Benford could be very well ahead of this case, right? And then Dane Jackson completely balling out on that opposite corner position. So who's it going to really be? We know it's Trey White. The New York Jets are like, I got to prepare for what? 3 different cornerbacks right now? What you got to prepare for Dane Jackson. You got to prepare for Christian Benford. And then maybe we rotate Kaiir Elam in there too. You never really know. And having these open competitions into the season really isn't that big of a problem, including an open competition at defensive end. You know, what's going to happen when Von Miller comes back? That's another roster move that Brandon Beane is going to have to make here. You know, Kingsley Jonathan, twitchy, fast, balling out of control here for the Buffalo Bills. You know, Shaq Lawson, AJ Epinesa, you know, Leonard Floyd. What is ultimately going to happen when Von Miller comes back? It's going to be really, really interesting to see how that all unfolds. But I think the Jets have some questions about the Buffalo Bills, which could be serving us as a competitive advantage. You know, Sean McDermott not really wanting to answer a lot of questions to the media, the Buffalo Bills media, trying to pull, you know, who's the starter going to be? What are you going to do against the Jets? Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane, they're not having it. They're taking every competitive advantage that we can get, including the competitive advantage of us playing the New York Jets week 1, the best freaking week to play Aaron Rodgers this upcoming season. You know, as the season progresses, they're going to get better and better and better. And also, I'm concerned about those bright lights in our rookies. You know, 9/11, opening night, Monday night football. Will it be too bright? Maybe we roll out some veterans that first series to let things get settled in. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys are all freaking amazing. I truly, truly appreciate you guys so freaking much. But go Bills.